Hello everyone, it's Lorica here. I'm going to do a March reading update of what I've read this month. There's also some books that I started in February that I only finished in March, so there'll be a few books, but this is for my March update. Let's see. I read very different books, varied. The first one I want to mention that I read in March is the Pocket Pema Chodron book. It's just a small little book, and it has these short pieces in it that's just short pieces about life. Pema is a Buddhist nun, and she teaches a lot Tibetan Buddhism. She's the most amazing person ever. I see her as my teacher. So I love this book. I actually bought a copy of this book for a friend of mine, and she was so excited about this book. She kept on sending me messages about how much she loves it. So I thought, well, I should get the book too then, because I don't want to lose out on this beautiful words of Pema Chodron. So that's why I bought the book, and it's really beautiful. So I super enjoy it. It's easy to read. It's easy to understand. You don't have to be a Buddhist to appreciate what she says. It's just really beautiful, simple, good. So that was my Pema Chodron book. And then I also read a Dion Meyer book, a South African author. He writes in Afrikaans, but his books get translated into so many languages. I read it on Kindle and I read it in English because I don't know why, but Afrikaans Kindle books are so expensive, and of course I can't get Afrikaans printed books here in Sweden, so I have to go Kindle and for Afrikaans, but they are like double the price, sometimes 3 times the price of an English translated version. And I can't justify paying that much for a book, even though it is in my own language. So, yeah, some Afrikaans books are really cheap, but most of them are just beyond anything that I can actually afford. So I read it in English, and it's called Leo, this one, by Dion Meyer. And it's part of the Benny Griesel and Vaughan Capito series. It's a series that he has. You don't have to read it back from the first to the last, right? It's you can dip in any time. But what I love about Dion Meyer's novels is it covers the challenges that there are in South Africa within the cultural and the legal and the crime aspect of things. But he writes it like so well, and it's like takes part in today's society. So a lot of things that happen you can understand a bit more. So it's almost like it's crime novel, but it's also a little bit about the culture and the people and how things are working in South Africa. So that for me is really great to read those books. His books about that. So Leo is Benny and Vaughan, the two detectives, used to work for this really high profile, it was called the Hawks, and they investigate corruption in South Africa. And they opened up something that, they did something that the head of the state was not so happy about. And so they got demoted to just working in the small town called Stellenbosch. It's like a university town, beautiful place in the Cape, in the Western Cape of South Africa. And so they were properly demoted. And then there was some violent crime that happened in Stellenbosch, and they were then, how shall I say, called back in to investigate. and so they're trying to redeem themselves so they can get back into their beloved hawks. So yeah, so it's just really is a beautiful story. I just love his writing so much, because to me it's just, I can, even in the English when I read it, I can read it as if it's Afrikaans because of how he writes. So yeah, love Dion Meyer. I also I read a lot of Afrikaans books on Kindle, but they are the discount books. Like I really scroll to find discount books, and they're not translated. They just regular Afrikaans books. So I enjoyed quite a few of those. They're easy reads. You go through them quick, and just to read books in my language. So that's other things I read, probably 3 or 4, because they're really easy to read in the last couple of months. And then I read, oh my gosh, my absolute favorite, one of my favorite authors, Haruki Murakami. And I read The City and Its Uncertain Walls. You can see this clock has no time, like you can't read the time on the clock. It's brilliant, right? Anyway, this book just threw me. I don't know. Murakami always does something when he writes, when I read his books. It's like he takes me to another world that I have no clue. I mean, I get so confused, and then and I never get proper answers either, but it just feels right. It's so hard to describe. So this is a story about, it follows the life of a man. It takes place in Japan, and it starts when he is in his late teens, and he meets this girl, and they really connect, and she tells him about this city with its uncertain walls. It sounds like a make-believe city. It's not real. And she kind of disappears suddenly, like just overnight. And his whole life he looks for this girl, and he knows he can find her in this city that they made up. Is it real? Is it not? And then one day he wakes up and he's in this city. And I'm not going to tell more than this because there's so much more. And then we also follow it. It takes place over a long period of time, right? So then we reach a point where he's older. I think he's in his 50s, maybe 40s or 50s. And so now he's a grown up, right? And he works in this library in this small little forest town in Japan, and some very strange things start to happen. So it's like, it follows the guy's whole life, and it's all mystical and mysterious. And when I finish the book, I still have no answers, but it just feels so, it just stays with me. And I just feel so, I think about it. Like, how did that happen? Maybe this is what's the deal, like you can't help but it just stays with you. And he writes just so beautifully. So this book, I think this is one of the best books that he has written for me personally. It's the most confusing one, but it's the best. My favorites are The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle and Kafka on the Shore. Those are my two favorite Murakami books, or used to be. But I think this one is just a touch above those. So I'm so glad I got it. And it's been in my bookshelf forever. Eventually I felt it's time. So I picked it up, and it did not disappoint. So what else did I read? So those are the books I read in March, and I started some of them in February, and it spilled over into March. So what I'm reading at the moment are two books. One is a non-fiction book. I talked about this book because in the book haul that I did in my previous video, and it's called The Story of Scandinavia, From the Vikings to Social Democracy by Stein Ringen. really good book. I'm still quite early in the book. You can see I still have all of that to go. So I've gone through the Viking times, and now I'm on the first modernizations. And it's a really interesting. It's really interesting. The Vikings, whew, my gosh, they were very vicious people. It's just like wow. But yeah, it. I'm really looking forward to see how the process was, because I'm living in Sweden now, and I'm a Swedish citizen, and I find that I want to understand the culture more and more, because whenever I go to a country, I want to know the culture, the attitudes, some of the history, and some things, but I think this will help me understand a lot more as well. And I'm curious how they got from the Vikings, like these super aggressive, like no mercy place, to social democracy, where it's very equality, talk about and thinking of other people, and first doing, you do something so that you do good for the society as a whole, not for you, those kind of attitudes. And I want to know, how did they get from that to this? So so I'm very I am now studying this thing, and I will let you know how it goes. I'm still reading this one, so it's going to take a while to work through because there's a lot of stuff in it. And then the other book I'm busy reading is a Kindle book. It's also a crime novel, and let me find it. It is called Open Season by Jonathan Kellerman. I just started reading it. Let me go to the cover on my Kindle. Excuse me. So it is the Alex Delaware series that I've been reading Kellerman for decades. He's been writing forever. And Alex Delaware is he was a child psychologist. I think he still is a child psychologist in this book, but he assists the LAPD, takes place in Los Angeles, with some of the more intense, severe crimes that are being committed. And especially one detective in the LAPD called Milo Stooges, and those two always work together. And they solving crimes. And I just started this book, literally. I've only gone in, I think, the first chapter, where they found a beautiful young lady was found murdered. And she was dropped off in front of a very quiet hospital. They could just see on a camera, and it seems she might have OD'd, and they think, and this car dropped her off there and drove off. And so that's all we know right now, and we don't know anything else. So they're busy trying to find out. They found out who she was, and now they're trying to solve the crime of what happened. So that is the Open Season by Jonathan Kellerman. So that's what I'm busy reading at the moment. And I'm also working on, there's another book. I'm going to grab it quick. I got this in World of Books. They have always these really decent priced secondhand books that I order from the UK. And it's called The Complete Encyclopedia of Stitchcraft. So it's all about stitches. And I have all these crows flying by. They're so beautiful. Anyway, I have these stitches, and it was printed in the early 1980s, 1982, and it has different stitches on embroidery, on knitting, crocheting, and I know I can get these because I subscribe to loads of stitching channels on YouTube, but I'm curious to see if I can still learn something from a book, right? So I got this and I want to try out some stitches and things by learning it from a book. So I just got this book and I'm very curious. So I'm going to play a little bit with some of it, do some knitting and crocheting and maybe some embroidering. And I've been working on some embroidering projects as well. Well, not really embroidering, slow stitching they call it. I'll show you one or two. Show you a couple. This is one that I was just busy working on. And then this is another one. Just practicing and playing with different stitches and fabrics and whatnot. So yeah, that's everything. All my updates. Have you read any of these books that I'm talking about here? Or are you curious about them? Let me know. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you soon. Bye.